All right, today we're looking at the Red Ryder revolver and designed to be a buddy for the classical Red Ryder lever action. Okay, so the big bullet points that people want to know right away out of the box: is this a metal gun? I was hoping it would be, hoping for die-cast metal, but no, it is a plastic body. Some people have a problem with that. I could get over it, and I was like, okay, now how does it shoot? I've been happy with what I've been saying. So also they call it the Red Ryder revolver when this isn't actually a cylinder magazine. So this, what you see here, is solid plastic. It's a plastic simulated look. But yeah, you don't have a cylinder magazine, which actually I think is fine, because I know on guns like the 1077, the cylinders can cause problems. So we'll get to that, how this gun works. So so it is plastic, and it's not a cylinder magazine. All right, so now let's get to the big one, the trigger. Now, I was excited to buy this because I saw that, okay, it's a single action. I was like, oh, wow, cool. And I figured it'd be super soft on the trigger. Okay, well, out of the box, it's not super soft. It is very crisp. It's predictable. And a gun pro would tell you that a crisp, predictable trigger is more important than just simple softness. And so what I did is, when I saw it wasn't very, very soft, is I got into the works here. So let's take a look in there, and there is a gap right there. And what I did is, there you go, and I got some oil in there, and on that metal arm you see on the side of the hammer right there, and in that gap. So I use ballistol, but you can use a 30 weight. So I got in that gap on that metal hammer right here, or sorry, metal arm on the bottom of the hammer. Okay, and really after the first CO2, I can vouch that this is good for 72 shots per CO2, which is very good. I'm happy with that. We'll cover that in another video. But yes, and now I would say after the first CO2, it's smoothed out. Very predictable, smooth trigger. Oil it out of the box. So I'm liking it. Just don't expect it to be really soft. But yeah, I just give it a little time, and you'll be fine. And now let's talk about how this gun loads. We're going to first go over how does a real 45 long work. Okay, so the Daisy engineers are clever. This is a real piece on a 45 long, and that's a real piece on the 45 long. So let's talk about what that normally would look like. Okay, on the real revolver, this would be a shell ejector. So this hatch, or we'll say a gate, flips open, and you push the shell out, and the shell pops out, and then you rotate the cylinder, punch another shell out until you're done, and then you close up the gate. Now, what the Daisy engineers did here is pretty clever. So this is the feeder now. So there, let me get a little light on that. So the feeder is that whole section right there. You can see the loading area and the locking area. So let's go ahead and, okay, and then you put a BB in here, and it goes back. And as you can see, it's not quite even with the wall, so you know there is at least one BB in there. When you're out, this will be flush to that wall. So I actually like that. One thing I notice when you shoot the gun and when you cock the hammer, it loads a BB. You see this basically indexed. You see it move down, and I like that as a reference point. So, okay, so and then this part is actually a safety, and so I would advise you. Okay, there we go. That's a good look at it. I'd keep it on the red dot, ready to shoot. And I'll get into that in a second here. Okay, the reason, okay, let's take that BB out. Okay, the reason I want to keep it on fire, keep it on the red dot, is because, like, I'm playing with this gun a lot right now, and you probably will too. There's a lot of plastic, and what I'm fearful of is if someone decides for whatever reason, when it's not live, there's no CO2 in it, is if they have it on safe, trying to cock the hammer, won't let you cock the hammer, that you could break it. If you're big and strong, you could break this. So I would just advise you keep it on red dot, and then when you want to play with it, no big deal. Yeah, I would say just in a few CO2s, it's gotten much smoother. And I would probably lube those parts I showed maybe every few hundred shots, definitely out of the box. All right, so yeah. So I just want to cover those basic things. Also, when would you use a safe? To close out the video, when would you put it on safe? Like, let's say you're out shooting, you're shooting at cans like I am, and you want to check a target, something comes up, the wind blows something over, and you have it cocked, and you don't want to waste a BB, because the ones I'm preaching here are black diamond. They're good value, but they're not cheap. And so I don't want to waste a BB. I love the black diamond in these pistols, CO2 or spring. But okay, so you have black diamonds in here. I don't want to waste one. I have to go check a target or something. So then you set the safety, and it keeps it from firing. It won't shoot. That's a good time to use that safety. Again, don't test it. Don't see how much stress you can put on the trigger. You risk, again, breakage. Just know it won't fire, and you're safe to aim it off the side and go pick up your target. And then when you're ready to shoot, pop it back out. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, so that's a good start. I like the pistol. My first impression so far, I don't care if it's plastic. The trigger is smoothened out. The accuracy is acceptable for what the gun is. And I'll see you in the next video.